Hey, welcome back. Doug and Brian here, doing all things real estate and finance. So one of the big questions that as a realtor I get asked today is how do I sell my $400,000 house and buy this $600,000 house with the interest rates that we've got? So we just gave you an example behind us with really a nice house. This particular house is 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, built in 2007. I was telling Brian that there's a new programs now called, it's a virtual staging. And so if you watch the pictures, you'll see the furniture, and now you don't.
That was a mind blower. That's cool.
So anyway, 4,100 square feet. Again, as we look at things, and as I look at things, one of the things I look at all the time is that dollars per square foot. This particular house, the state of Utah right now, the average is about $200 a square foot. This particular house at $600,000, well, and it's just been reduced price-wise.
Yeah,
was $675,000, now it's $600,000, and this is in Santaquin, so it's South Utah County, but so it's dropped $75,000, but it's only $145 a square foot, which is absolutely incredible that we're seeing that kind of price point per square foot right now, especially on a 4,100 square foot house.
That's good.
So anyway, so you've got a $400,000 house. You want to buy this house. Brian, bring us home. Make it happen.
We'll make it happen. So here's our hypothetical homeowner. So let's say, for example, Doug comes out to your home and says, hey, it looks like your home is in that 400 price range, 400-ish, 420, 380, something like that, right? So what we always do is take a look at what if. So let's assume you have a home, it's worth that 400-ish, and you owe your balance to pay the mortgage off when you sell the home is $250,000.
Which is really realistic.
Very typical. Oh, very typical.
Especially if you've owned it for 3 years, that's almost where the I mean, it's incredible.
We just had a client who bought their home through 3.5 years ago, and zero down, and they sold it. And they walked with $152,000. It was just like, really? Congratulations, tax free, by the way.
Nuts.
No taxes, no capital gains. It's awesome. So let's take a look at this hypothetical situation. So glass is back on.
All right.
If you sell it for, we usually look at 3 different scenarios: an A, a B, and a C. So A would be maybe a best case scenario. So Doug's looked at your home and says, you say, okay, the top we're going to get probably as a sale price, let's say 425, 425,000.
So the house is immaculate.
Yeah.
And it's no issues with it.
Yeah, no issues.
We don't need to paint. We don't need to redo the driveway. It's just top notch.
Butter. And you owe $250,000. So after all your selling costs, your net, your cash to you will be about $145,000. Now we're rounding off a little bit, but about $146,000. B would be, okay, lower price. Let's say we only get $400,000 for it, for whatever reason, right?
You know what? That could be the litter box. A litter box and a cat smell could cost you 25 grand.
Yeah, the $425,000 A version is bread in the oven.
That's right. Cookies.
Unless they're gluten intolerant. Oh. Then you've offended someone. Yeah.
Don't want to offend anyone.
No. So cat box scenario B is $400,000, and your cash proceeds at the end of everything is $122,000. Wow, right? Now C is if you've got 2 cats, 2 large dogs, and a goat.
All in the house.
All in the house. Yeah, in the house. I'll take the goat. Anyway. So let's say you sell it. You could sell it for $375,000, and your mortgage, same payoff, same numbers. You'd end up with about $99,000, $100,000 cash out.
Okay, end up with. That's still good.
That's awesome.
$100,000, yeah.
Yeah, and if you've lived in the house 2 out of the last 5 years, then no taxes, no capital gains taxes.
Nice.
Your primary residence. Okay, so then we look at some different options as far as how you can buy this cool house in Santaquin with a traffic slider.
With the virtual staging.
Oh, man. I wonder if they can make that real staging somehow.
I don't know.
That's amazing.
It really is. It's kind of cool.
You can make an offer and say, include all the furniture.
Watch people panic.
Yeah, include all the virtual furniture. Okay, so if you did that, you have a couple different options. And it really comes down to how much money you're going to take from the sale of your home and apply it to the new house. You don't have to use all of it. In many situations with clients, we will look at what you have to pay off. Do you have any other debt you'd like to pay off? A lot of times you can pay a car off. You know, you got a $500 payment just sitting there. Get rid of the car payment, pay the loan off, and use, we can fiddle with all that. But assuming you have none of that and you want to buy this house, your payment difference, if you apply, remember, immaculate condition, no animals,
right,
then all the way down to the goat, is the difference in payment is about from $3,200 a month on your new house, this one in Santaquin, up to about $3,500 a month.
Okay.
So it's about $300 a month spread difference between owning a goat and not owning a goat, I guess. But it's not, usually a lot of people will look at that and go, okay, it's $300 is money, but it's not. Gosh, I thought it was going to be like $1,000 difference.
Yeah, but $300 is the car payment you just paid off.
Correct. Right.
Nice.
That's right. So and you'll be surprised, especially if you've owned a home for a couple of years and you've seen these crazy gains, because those crazy gains have probably come to a halt, at least for the time being.
Seems like it.
Yeah, at least for
seems like it.
Yes.
You know the other thing that people I think miss too that is non-existent now is a year ago, if you could get a house under contract, and that's an if.
Yeah.
So you had people putting 15, 20 offers in trying to get into a house. But typically you had to pay over asking. So you had to bring $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 over the asking price just to be able to be considered to go under contract.
Yeah.
So not only are prices starting to come down, but that's gone away. And so with this house in Santaquin now, instead of the $675, again, a year ago, you would have paid probably $725 to own it.
Yeah.
Now they're at $600, and you've got a great payment and a decent rate. So I mean, it all nets really good for you.
Yeah. So I would much rather get a good price on a house and have a higher rate than have an overpay with a lower rate, because once you bought that house for $725, you've almost bought it for $725. There's nothing you can do about it. If you have interest rates are 3% higher than they were a year ago, that may be that may be temporary. There's a very good chance you'll end up refinancing down the road. But once you borrow too much on that house, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have it this way. I'll take this one.
So take this one.
I'll take it.
So sell 400,000, we're at 425, right?
425.
So we're going to sell at 425, buy at 600, $3,200 payment.
Yeah.
That seems very reasonable for a 4,100 square foot house.
Yeah.
With rentals in there in that $2,400 to $2,600 range, and you own this.
Yeah.
What a nice way to go. Unfinished basement on this one. It really is. Really quick while we're talking, we talked earlier about what happens if the interest rates drop a percent and everybody jumps back in that are kind of sitting on the sidelines right now. What happens on the reverse? What happens if in March, all of a sudden interest rates go to 10%? What are you going to be thinking about if that happens? You're going to be really kicking yourself for not getting in at 5.5%, 6% where we're at now.
Right.
So realistically, the bottom line is if you're going to do this, it's time to do it now. So let's get me over there. Let's look at the house, the $400,000 house. Make sure it's nice and clean, no goat smell, those kinds of things. We'll get with Brian, get all the pre-approvals done, and then we can just roll this thing and just make it work for you and really get you into a really nice house, a bigger house for you, and get it done.
Yes.
Yes?
Santaquin house better than the goat house.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.